Core strength is absolutely crucial during pregnancy, and here's why. As your baby grows, it places added strain, added weight on your lumbar spine. So this tends to happen unless we use the body efficiently. When we talk about the core, we're talking about the very deep muscles that lie in front of your lumbar vertebrae. And you can imagine how these muscles help to stabilize your lower back and keep this area really strong. So in fact, as your baby grows, you'll be growing stronger. So let's begin. Form is the focus when it comes to core strength. So never ever compromise your form. If you find you're getting fatigued, then rather take a rest in this position known as child pose and just focus on breathing into your lower back and soften any area of strain. This is especially the case if you're new to this practice or if you've come to it quite late in your pregnancy. We'll start on all fours with the focus on alignment. The knees are below the hips, hands below the shoulders. There's three important aspects to alignment. Particularly here, we focus on the central column. So if you can visualize a bamboo pole that runs straight through the crown of your head, straight through your throat, and then through your heart space, then again these deep core muscles, and then it runs straight out through your pelvic floor so that this line remains absolutely extended and supported right the way through today's practice. The second important aspect is the setting of the shoulder blades. So notice for yourself, if your shoulder blades creep up around your ears, you need to keep them, in fact, rolled down so that the lower tip of your shoulder blade, that's this lower pointy area, is sliding down towards your pelvis. And we also feel that the back ribs have nice firm contact with the shoulder blade, so there's no need to collapse or sink out of them in any way. And the third and final important aspect to this core strength is, of course, awareness of these deep abdominal muscles, and simply drawing your navel up toward your spine will help to engage this supportive practice. From here, we imagine a cup of tea placed on the lower back, and see that you don't spill a single drop as you extend one leg out. Now, you may wish to keep the tips of the toes on the ground, but if all feels quite safe and comfortable here, then let the leg float up so that it's also aligned with that imaginary bamboo pole. Again, if all feels well, the final step is to extend the opposite arm. And here we're warming up the back muscles, so feel that the arm is held by the strength of your shoulder blade, the leg is held by the strength of your buttock. Again, you may wish to stay here and just rest when you're ready. Otherwise, come with me as we exhale and slowly tuck yourself underneath, drawing your knee right the way up to your chest. Your chin can tuck into your chest as well. As we inhale, we open up. Perhaps let the limbs float a touch, and then with your exhale, tucking under, feel all the strength building at your belly. One more here. The inhale, we open, and the exhale to close. And then find your way back to neutral, establishing those 3 points of alignment: the bamboo pole, your shoulder blades, and your deep belly. We can shift to the other side. Option 1 with the toes lowered. Option 2 with the leg raised. forward into a plank position. Level 1 is here from the knees, and that bamboo pole is now running from the knees through the pelvis to the crown of your head. Level 2, if you're very familiar with these practices already, is to tuck the toes under so that the bamboo pole runs from your heel to your crown. From here we take the feet wide, about to the edges of your mat, and lowering now your back hand, so for me it's my left. The strength comes about through control, so no rush as we move between these postures. Again, remember the option is always to lower the knees. You'll still be getting all the strength that you need. From here, with lots of control, we roll onto the left side or your back side so that you're facing towards me. Strongest option is the feet aligned. You can, of course, do this also from the knees. But do check once again your bamboo pole. The tendency is often to let the hips drop. So see for yourself, there's lots of buoyancy, lots of strength. You can check this out for yourself by feeling your top hip. And perhaps raise the top arm. Typically it's done gazing upwards. But do see that your neck is an extension of your spine. And if that causes strain in any way, then look down to the floor. Lots of control. You bring the hand to the floor. Allow your hips. You can adjust this elbow if it's more comfortable. And from here we hover the legs. There's a bit of a balance. But again, we're looking for this top hip on top of the lower. So if you do drop back, then realign yourself. There's a possibility of dropping forward. Even take a look down at your legs. You can use the visual to check your alignment. Okay, here's the best part. We get to reverse. We come back through a side plank. All this strength is coming from your deep inner body. So you can imagine doing this every day. 10 minutes every day is really not a big ask. The difference it will make to the ease of your whole pregnancy. And you can use this sequence right the way through. Remember the control. And the same arm that we came down, we now use to come up. Great work. It's a well-deserved rest. Depending on the size of your baby, you might separate your knees. As you rest, you can feel all that strength through the side that you've just worked. Strength is building right now in your body. You can feel it quite tangibly, quite directly. Your muscle fibers are being generated. Nerves that supply these areas of your body are being strengthened. In fact, your whole body and mind are being reconditioned. And this is where the real change through yoga takes place. Come through all fours. And swing to the other side. Lay in a plank, whether that's on the knees or on the toes. establish those 3 reference points. The bamboo pole, shoulder blades set, deep abdomen supporting your lower back, feet wide, opposite hand to lower. Remembering the plank here can be done also from the knees. Control the roll. I always take shaking as a good sign. Maybe waking up something that was otherwise asleep. Easing the hips. No rush. The slower you go, the stronger you'll be. And you'll feel you're using a different group of muscles in each of these postures. So it is a very complete core sequence. You may even have the sense that you can use this. You can see there's lots of space for your growing baby. So that even in the very late stages of pregnancy, you'll be able to continue with this. Let's reverse now. Side plank. Just as you'll be able to come back to this very same practice, even post-natally, and I'd suggest about 6 to 8 weeks post-natally if you've had a vaginal birth, or from 10 weeks on if it's been a cesarean. For those of you who've done my pelvic floor sequence, you can include the use of the pelvic floor as you work your core. And in fact, the muscles work hand in hand. So usually if you're working your core, you're also using your pelvic floor, just as using the pelvic floor naturally strengthens the deep core, the deep belly. Be aware of which hand you use to come out. Final pose here. See it right the way through. And come on down to resting. Don't miss this out. This is where you get to reap the rewards. I love the feeling of my chest on the floor. You might find, that you can offer yourself some pillows or blankets if your chest is still quite high. You may find over time that the chest does sink down, in which case it's quite safe to turn the head to one side. A particularly reassuring, comforting position. One I'm sure your baby will choose. He or she is resting on your chest. You can breathe to the softness of your belly now. And your baby has received fresh, oxygenated circulation. Anytime you're observing your body, observing your inner needs, you're also attending to your baby. Don't forget this. And apply it now, just as much as motherhood. So you close the practice and curl up to a comfortable sitting position. You can spread your arms out wide. Take a Full inhale. And your hands close here at the heart. Thank you very much for joining me. I'm Alexis Denny. I'll see you next time.